2, and I wanted to make an updated starters tier list for every class in the game. The reason for this, there's just been a lot of changes in season 2, and I feel like some of the classes have kind of moved up and down on this tier list depending on if you're a newer player or if you're a veteran player. Some of these might be a little bit easier for you to get through than others. Again, we are going to talk about some different skills that you can use to level with these characters, maybe some success stories that I've heard. When I'm live on Twitch, people will tell me, hey, I've played this and it worked really, really well. And other people have said, hey, I played this and it didn't work really well. So without further ado, let's get started. We are also going to be doing this fairly raw. Like, I'm not going to edit a whole lot, so we're just going to kind of blast through it. Amazon hasn't been seeing a lot of love, right? I've had a lot of people that are seeing guides from last season. Like, a lot of newer players are going on YouTube and looking for Amazon guides, and what they find is Envenom, and the Envenom's damage didn't get nerfed, but the AoE on it did, and monsters just being exceedingly tanky is also there. So with the game being 4 times harder, just everything about Amazon, just for me, even as a starter, for me screams like B tier, right? I haven't had a whole lot of people be successful on Amazon, or like feel like they're being successful on Amazon, but that, again, that's just based on what feedback I've been getting. Demon Spawn we're gonna put in A tier, right? The only reason that I put in Demon Spawn in A tier is single target. People are having trouble with single target. You could just respec your skills, go Bone Storm instead of Blood Surge. That's mainly, you're probably playing Blood Surge while you're leveling up, but you could just switch that to Bone Storm whenever you're trying to kill act bosses or just whatever. But the thing is like, there are still a lot of tanky mobs. Like going into the end of act like 4, 5, 6 in Nightmare, like Blood Surge is gonna feel kind of bad. You don't really have a whole lot of defense, and things can kind of hurt. So I can kind of see why people are struggling on Demon Spawn a little bit. But personally, I would put it in S tier because I played it a lot. For the sake of everybody else, I'm going to put it in A tier because I feel like it's probably a little bit harder of a class to level. Illusionist, C tier, B tier, either one of those. I haven't seen a whole lot of people play it, for one, so I really don't even know where to put it. The nice thing about Illusionist is you do get teleport for free, like Yoten, for example, also gets teleport. So play this one at your own risk. It could be insane. Most likely probably mid still, even if you when you started, you get it up into like hell and you start progressing it through hell, it's probably still fairly mid. And I can also see the damage not really scaling up for like things beyond hell 3 because, again, of those resistances and monsters just feeling super tanky. Yoten we're gonna put up in, for a starter, I'm gonna put it in S tier. For a starter, I'm gonna put it in S tier. It still has one of the best movement abilities in the game. It has a free teleport. You get it at level 24. It's cheaper than Illusionist teleport, excuse me. And he has an insane AoE skill, right? He gets that at level 24 as well. So, or sorry, 16. He gets that at level 16, and just you can absolutely blast with them. Now with Yoten, when you first start, you're going to use the boulder, right? We're going to use the frozen boulder, and it's not going to do shit for damage. Be honest with you, until level 8, you're not going to do dick for damage. You can swap that out for the leap ability and just leap around. Like, you feel like you're playing Flicker Strike from PoE and just leap, destroy everything until level 16. Get Uberfrost, annihilate everything in the game until 24. 24, you get teleport. Then you are teleporting around, annihilating everything in the game all the way to Hell 1. You can literally do Yoten Hell 1 with 0 gear on. I did it. You can take every piece of gear off that you have. You're not gonna get hit, you're gonna die, but you can literally kill monsters with 0 gear. It's wild. Shield Dancer, really good single target. Still has, dog shit glare because you have to get hit for it to be viable. Marauder's okay. The problem with Marauder is you don't really get anything passive related for movement speed, or you don't really get like the best movement skill. You have like a wrecking ball that you throw out and you like go to it, which is cool, but it gets stuck on things all the time, and I don't like it as a movement skill. It's like it has too much AoE and like hits things. So personally, I'm putting it in B tier. It's probably A, to be honest. It's probably between A and B, but Marksman, I haven't seen a whole lot of people play Marksman. I haven't seen really anybody talk about Marksman. Personally, I'm putting it down in B tier. The reason for it is, again, there's a lot of people having trouble with this ignore target defense attack rating issue, I guess. And we call it an issue, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I think people are just not understanding how their chance to hit works. But for that reason, newer players don't even know what ignore target defense is to begin with, right? So for that reason, it's going to B tier. Necromancer, A tier, right? Necromancer's a solid A. Summons is all right. If you like summon playstyle, it's okay. I wouldn't start summons. It's kind of, summons feel bad until you get Vengeful Spirit, to be honest with you. Like for me personally, I think summons just feel bad until you get Vengeful Spirit. Now you can also play Bone Spear and Bone Shred. Bone Shred's like teeth, and that skill's shotguns. So when you hit like 4 and 5 projectiles, you can walk up to an elite, like, and be on their booty and hit your Bone Shred, and it will shotgun the shit out of them and kill them. Like it is actually wild damage. Bone Spear has actually been pretty cool. I've been living with it on Odyssey a little bit, and it's popping off. Like I like one tap everything, and it hurts. It's a skill that does not have low damage. It hurts. So that could be an option too, just leveling with the boner stuff. Nomad's still strong. One of the fastest in terms of leveling. Again, he has that the ignore target defense and the attack rating thing that you have to figure out, and for that reason he's going A tier. Paladin, haven't seen anybody playing Paladin. He has a movement skill. I don't like it. It's clunky. Lightning Fury, some people have been trying Lightning Fury. I've got a lot of people asking, is Lightning Fury good? It's how you know, do you have any success stories with it? I don't. Nobody's really played Paladin, and I don't, you know. At this time, I don't have any information on Paladin other than that people have told me that it's slow to level. Right. Pirate, A tier. Anchors are pretty cool. You kind of beat stuff up with anchors. I know there's some people that I have in my chat that are trying all the bomb stuff, the left side of the tree. So I'll have some information on that. Parrotmancer's cool. You can do some parrot stuff. I've heard a lot of good success with Plague Doctor. If you go the flasks, right? Toxic Flask leveling isn't too bad. I just feel like for me personally, until I get the augment for Toxic Flask, I don't really want to play it. It doesn't have enough AoE for me. But I've heard of a bunch of people having a lot of success stories with that. Pyro, S tier. Yo, chat, Pyro's an S tier. Pyro's insane. You literally just play Scorching Aura, you play Hydras, you get some gear, and you blast, right? That's actually wild. I haven't heard anyone playing Redneck, which is depressing. I actually might go play Redneck. I'm not gonna lie, chat, we might be playing Redneck soon, because I feel like the caster side of it with the trucks and what's it called, pickup raid augment, like a max level, I feel like that could be so fun. So as far as leveling it goes though, Chainsaw Massacre, I still think it's the worst ability in the game. I actually hate it. I would never level with it. Some of you might like it. I would never level with it. The caster side's just mid. It's, if you're playing like Fire Redneck, it's like, why don't you just go play Pyro, in my opinion. Samurai is probably A tier. Like Flicker Strike, Omni Slash, or Fan of Knives, or any of that stuff is, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Snowzone's actually insane with it right now, right? Snowzone's been going fucking wild on a Samurai, but he has really good gear. So I'm not, this is again a starter tier list, not a in-game tier list. Shaman, S tier. Just everything about it, you can literally do everything with no gear. I'm actually today going to be doing an SSF Shaman play with me. So I will be uploading an entire, like, you know, however long video of me leveling from level 1 to level probably 100, because it won't take me too long. I'm showing you how I do that. It's gonna be a fun time. So if you're interested in learning how to level a Shaman, feel free to come check that out. Demon Slayer, I'll put Demon Slayer in A tier. He would be an S tier, but again, he has the ignore target defense and the attack rating thing that you have to get fixed. Like, people are having such a hard time with this ignore target defense being capped at 75%. So because of that, I'm going to put him in A tier. So I've had a lot of people coming in the chat saying I don't do any damage. I don't do any damage. I don't hit anything. I have like all my points in dex, and it's so. If you're gonna play Demon Slayer, just be aware of that. Same thing for Viking. I feel like Viking once again can go absolutely insane, but I saw Game Fan was playing like a poison version of Viking, which is kind of cool. He's just using Viking as a way to apply a poison, and the poison was actually doing the damage. So that could be something you might be interested in trying out. White Mage. White Mage right now is one of those classes that you could pump like 300 million gold in items on him, and he would probably, you know, still be bad. So, and then Exo, guys, I'm putting Exo in B tier. Well, he's between A and B, and the reason we've dropped him down so much. First of all, I don't know why this all came up. Oh, because I fucking made that. The reason why we put him here is cooldown. You're fighting for gear in cooldown right now with the next class, which is the most broken class. So the Butcher needs cooldown to work. Yoten needs cooldown to, you know, really start popping off. Like all of these classes that need a ton of cooldown are fighting with each other, and Exo, unfortunately, it's just slim pickings to get the cooldown for him. On top of that, there is no cooldown cap anymore. Right, the cooldown cap has been removed. However, you need a lot. You need like 150, 158, I forgot the number that we came to be able to reach the same level of cooldown that you would have had for Exo last season. So if you're thinking about Black Hole last season and like how to re-simulate that build, you'd have to get 150% cooldown to get to that same level. And now the amount of damage and plus skills, like things that you're sacrificing to get to that point, is insane. For a starter, it's not terrible though. You do get a movement skill, you fly around. Black Hole is still pretty good. It does fall off, and again, it's a cooldown skill. The tsunamis and asteroid, like that's all right. It's not bad. So we'll put it in A tier for a starter, but the reason that I have to drop it down is just because of its ability to scale is going to be very, very difficult if you don't already have gear and things to put on him for him to pop off. So the last class, I don't have a picture of him, is the Butcher, right? The Butcher is in S tier. The Butcher is in A tier for leveling. I don't think it's that good for leveling. It's okay until like you use some of the fizz scaling skills on the right side of the tree, like Brutalizing Slash or Ferocious Strike. You'll want to use those and stack on additive fizz damage, right, to be able to pump out more DPS until you get to level 30. And then at level 30 you'll swap to Blender and use Blender, you know, all the way till whenever you're done. But the thing is, he doesn't get like that insane of a movement skill. Like he does, he has the hook that goes 5 bajillion miles away. That's not terrible, but beyond that, like he doesn't really have a whole lot. And the other problem, again, that you're going to run into with Butcher is cooldown. You need a lot of cooldown reduction to make him like really sustainable with his damage once you get into Hell. So yes, does he do an absolute metric ton amount of damage? But he needs a lot of gear to get to that point and be a sustainable character and something that you can play. So with all of that being said, if you have any comments about the current tier list of where we're at, if you have any opinions about any of this, I really feel that this is kind of where we're at. If you're playing anything melee specifically or anything ranged, you've kind of dropped down on the tier list a little bit. Casters are really kind of the forefront right now. Again, that's with starters. Again, I understand that a lot of things have changed and some people have, you know, a little bit more knowledge. From the more veteran players have a bit more knowledge on how to level these things, but those I'm considering to be outliers because a lot of the player base right now is struggling on some of these classes getting them leveled. So that's all I've got for you guys. Feel free to leave a comment down in the description on how you feel about this tier list. Enjoy your season 2. It's been super fun. I've had a lot of fun, and I will see you guys in